Hello, Lisa.
Hello, Igal.
And where are you, if I may ask?
Why, I'm in the library. Can't you tell?
I can.
And
And
where are you?
well, I'm in the garden, can't you tell? Surrounded by the natural flora of our island of
Yes,
Manhattan. Yes.
exactly. Exactly.
And what are we going to do together except for besides having fun?
So I think we're going to share some of our thoughts about Rosh Hashanah that is coming up before we know it,
Yeah.
and it's big. It's big this year. It's always big, but it feels particularly big this year.
So tell us, what's on your mind?
So one of the things that I've sort of been just noticing as we're getting ready for Rosh Hashanah and comparing it this year to last year, um, this year just feels so much more fragmented to me.
Mm.
Where I'm watching some of my friends who are clergy trying to decide like how are they going to observe the holidays, and people who inside, outside, streaming, um, masks, vaccine mandates, the whole thing. And it's like changing. And um, it's so divisive in so many communities. And even people just trying to figure out, are we getting together? Like, you and I always have second day lunch for our friends. And, we're not really going to do that this year. And like, what's it going to look like? And everything just feels very um, fragmented and unclear, and everybody's making decisions for themselves. And I was thinking about that because Rosh Hashanah Rosh Hashanah is Yom Hadin. It's the day of judgment, for all of us, for like all people. There's that striking, amazing image in Unatana Tokef that this is the day where all humanity passes before God for our fate to be decreed. And it's not even the just humans, but the angelic beings, that are also coming to be judged on this day. And just how I feel like the part of the message of Rosh Hashanah is how deeply um, intertwined our destinies are, and that this whole um, such a contrast to this great sense of fragmentation. And part of what I'm questioning is, how could we tap into that sense of shared destiny, of um, shared standing before the mystery of this world, um, even if it's just for a moment, to be able to stand in that place as opposed to this sort of frantic running around, everybody trying to figure it out for themselves.
Mm, great. And uh, and what is the message in terms of, is there a message in terms of a practice that you have in connection to that? What is the practical application of those thoughts?
Yeah, well, I guess um, I'm not sure. Like, I'm really thinking about it. It's sort of one of the things that I'm sort of pondering. So I'm noticing, some of the sort of the standard um, features of the High Holy Days, that the vast majority of our prayers are in plural. It's we. It's all we. It's not so much I. It's we. And really being able to notice that, just even to notice all the different places in the prayer book that it says we, and to think about it not as some sort of like, we can be sometimes pompous, like the royal we, and like, well, who's we? you know you
Hmm.
and what army, like what is it, what, but to really like sense into that. We can I feel that connection when I say we, as part of the liturgy as we get into the holidays, to really, can I feel that, can I sense out from like me and you and our family and our community, and out and out and out into this world to encompass truly all living beings. Like, can I get a glimpse of that?
Mm.
Um, So that might be one thing that just sort of comes to my mind now.
Mm. Thank you for that. And I think that will maybe we will make another conversation about this connection between individual practice and the we, especially at the time where each one of us really is in its Dalet Amot, in our 4 qubits, remaining at home. It's a great thing
Yeah.
to contemplate. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what have you been thinking about, my beloved, we're approaching Rosh Hashanah?
Yeah. So what's been on my mind for Rosh Hashanah was the Alan Lew's book, Rabbi Alan Lew of blessed memory, Zichrono Livracha, who was started his spiritual road in a way that's similar to mine, that he started his spiritual road in Eastern teachings, and out of his experience of meditation returned to Judaism to illuminate the mystical aspect of our own tradition. And he has this book, which is a book that's supposed to be a preparation for the high holidays. And the title of the book is This is Real and You Are Completely Unprepared.
Hmm.
This is real and you're completely unprepared. And so you may think, oh, what it means is I'm unprepared. I better get my act together and prepare. And if I didn't prepare that well this year, well, there's always next year, hopefully, that I will be able to prepare. But no, I think actually I'm just contemplating the fact that what he may be trying to say is you are completely unprepared now and forever as an existential condition of the human being in front of the vast mystery of the universe. There is no way to prepare. And I remember I was in London 20 some years ago, and I went to a lecture of a rabbi, and I don't remember anything from that lecture except for one thing that the rabbi said. He said this: the idea of sin in the Jewish tradition, and as a, in parentheses, I would say sin in Hebrew is the word chet, and it comes from the same root as missing the mark. So it's not sin, not as a bad action, but sin as an action that's not in tune with the natural flow of things. So he said, sin in Judaism is to look at what happened thus far, and on the basis of that, conclude what's possible. And if you conclude of about what's possible only on the basis of what happened so far, you're chote, you are a mark misser, in the sense that you don't leave room for an emergent possibility, and that's a sin. So, for example, I thought to myself, let's think of 3.5 billion years ago on this planet. It was all the primordial soup was there, and the first uh, prokaryotic cells came into being. And then they proliferated because there was no natural enemy. They just proliferated, and they had this excretion material of their metabolism was a poison called oxygen, which they
Hmm.
were completely incapable of handling. And at first, it was not a problem, but then as the oxygen level increased, then it was threatening life at the time. And out of that evolutionary pressure came the cooperation between cells in what gave rise to what we call eukaryotic cells, which specialize into mitochondria and cell walls around the nucleus and all that, which led to multicellular organisms and to the beings that we are today. So, what does it mean to leave room for a miraculous possibility right now? Yes, things are bad, and
Hmm.
that in itself puts us into a notion that we really cannot prepare. We are
Hmm.
never prepared, but we're also not prepared for the emergent possibility that can come out of this pressure, this evolutionary pressure of the moment. So, my thought in this Rosh Hashanah is to just leave room for that emergent possibility and to watch to be alert and awake, not in this fearful way. Wow, new things are emerging. Let's all see what is it that's emerging right now.
One of the things that I think in Alan Liu's book, one of the title is explained when he and his wife had all these plans for how their first child was going to be born, and then that's not how it happened at all. And where he realized like they thought they were prepared, and then it turned out they were not. And I think that that's so beautiful to make that connection now with the birth of a new year.
Hmm.
That we do all this work, and like whatever happens, like we don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's interesting because if you just think about it, what does it mean to prepare? You prepare on the basis of the past.
mhm,
So you take the road from the past, you put in front of you, and you say, that's the future. And of course, it never works like that.
right.
You and I are now practicing a system of trauma healing called NARM.
Mhm,
And in NARM, the founder of NARM talks about what he calls futuristic memory, that
mhm,
you project on the future that which already happened in the past. There is no way to prepare for, and it's a unpreparedness in principle. And
mhm,
that also leaves room for things, for miracles to happen.
mhm. And we know about that too.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Well, we want to wish all our friends Shana Tova,
All of
a
our
happy
friends,
new
Shana
year.
Tova, a
And
sweet and good year.
yes, and may, without preparing, let's hope that we can hug each other before too soon and have meals together, have Rosh Hashanah meal next year.
Amen.
Bye
Amen.
bye.
Shana Tova.